Hello everyone, I am Kunal and I am welcoming you all to the Vedantu NTSE 2019 SAT mathematics portion. While everyone is still joining in, let's do one thing. I'll just run you through the basic instructions that I would like to follow in this webinar and all my sessions, and then let's move ahead from there. Okay? So a few of the basic instructions that you can see over here. In case if you are using a desktop or your laptop, please use your headphones and earphones because it will cancel out some unnecessary noises. You will be able to hear my voice properly, and others also won't be distracted by any kind of noises if it comes from your end too. Cool. In case if you're using a mobile too, that applies. One more thing that I have to mention is, in case if you are using your desktop and your laptop, and if you do have a mobile phone with you, please keep that on silent mode, like I kept it on silent mode, so that it does not distract the others whilst and you have any calls or you get messages on social media from your friends, like it happens, and that's totally understandable. For 1 hour, I hope we don't have a groundbreaking message or discovery in the next 1 hour. Trust me, it won't. Okay, the second most important instruction that I want to mention is, from right now, this webinar and all the sessions after this that we are going to have, I would request you, not just request, urge you to always have a notebook and pen for all the sessions, because it will help you to note down, or rather jot down, important formulas and points that I just give you during the classes. Please note, all the sessions will be recorded and you will have all that I present here as notes. So do not start copying down as notes in your notebook. That is not necessary. Okay, you will have them as notes. Use your notebook to jot down important formulas and points that you might later on refer. You don't have to go back and look at all the formulas of a particular chapter. You can just like, oh, these are the important formulas of this particular chapter. I can just look at it before my NTSE examination. Okay. So please make sure of that. Also, the notebook will also be very useful while solving in-class problems. Third one is quite important, as all solutions can be downloaded as notes. Please do not copy. I would recommend you not to copy down every single thing, only jot down important points. Okay. So yeah, let the fun begin. I think while everyone is joining, I'll just give a basic introduction about myself so you can get to know me a little better. Okay. So about me, as I mentioned, I'm Kunal Das. I have completed my bachelor's and my master's from the Department of Electrical Engineering from IIT Madras. I hail from Calcutta. Currently, I live in Bangalore, and I have been teaching for the past 2 years. I'm associated with Vedantu for the past 2 years. This is just a profile about me, in case if you ever want to go back and look at who your teacher is. Quite a good amount of rating, huh? Okay, there are people who are better than me as well. I'm still learning, and teaching is a learning process as well. Okay, so a few of you guys might be thinking is, why did I have the enthusiasm to teach? That's actually a pretty good question. By the way, I forgot to mention that I completed my 10th standard from ICSE, and I scored 99 in mathematics in my year, and I won the award for the highest marks in maths then. The motivation for me behind teaching was, when I was in my 6th or 7th standard, I was horrible at maths. Trust me, I can't say I hated maths, but I was horrible at maths. That's when my dad and my teachers came to my rescue. They said, Kunal, just stop everything. Stop solving hundreds and 200 amount of problems. The first thing that you need to understand about mathematics is the concept. You understand the underlying concept behind any problem or of any chapter. That's all. You solve 2 problems, 3 problems, that is more than sufficient. It is equivalent of solving hundreds and hundreds of problems rather than just solving 2 to 3 problems. It's just simple. Concept is everything in mathematics. That was my turning point, because since then I have only focused on understanding the concepts rather than just remembering a bunch of formulas and just going and writing exams after solving innumerable amount of problems. No point, just no point. That was my turning factor, and since then I have solved very less number of problems, just for practice, just to get an idea as to how the solution works, just to get a framework or the path in which we can solve a particular problem. Other than that, concepts was my driving focus. Since then, once I came to a point where I thought that, okay, I can do this on my own, I realized that it's time for me to just give back a part of what I learned as my experiences to someone, to people, or rather to students like you who might feel like, oh, I hate mathematics. Oh, it's so tough. Oh, it's all about formulae, formulae, formulae. No, maths is not about formulae. Maths is about the concept. If you know the concept, you can derive the toughest of formulas. Trust me. Formulas just don't come out of nature, or is it like someone had a brainstorming session? This is the formula. Okay, it's like physics. F is equal to ma or something. Nope, it's not like that. Okay. So my point is, in this sessions, we will be covering a lot of concept. I want you to grab the concepts in your head, utilize them, and then try to solve the problems. Okay. This was my main motivation of teaching, and I guess I'm doing a pretty good job thanks to Vedantu as well, and I'm learning in the process as well. So you will be getting to know a little more of me as well as we go along the process. It's not going to be like a one-way thing where I just speak and you listen. It's not going to be like that. It's going to take me some time to remember your names as well. So when our real sessions start, the regular session starts, I'm pretty sure I'll get to know you guys a little better and everything. So I'm really looking forward to getting to know you all as well, because trust me, I have a little problem in remembering everyone's name. So I might not remember everyone's name in the first session, but over a couple of sessions, I'm pretty sure we're going to remember each other's name, and we're going to get to know each other a little better. Okay, so I guess that's a rough estimate of who I was. I'm currently situated in Bangalore. I don't know if I've mentioned that. So if any one of you live in Bangalore, feel free to drop by. I live near Indranagar. Okay, I guess that's it. Let's just start off with what today's session is all about, going to be about. Top 5 problems that is expected in NTSE 2019. Reminder and a warning, or rather let's put a disclaimer. These are not the exact questions that are going to come in NTSE 2019. So someone says like, hey, how do you know these are the first 5 problems that are going to come in NTSE 2019? Did you leak the paper? Do you know someone associated? Absolutely not. Okay, absolutely not. I know that these are the kinds of problems that might come in NTSE 2019 based on the historical problems that have come, because these concepts are the testing questions that whoever frames the NTSE paper actually tries to test in all the students who are going to appear for the NTSE examinations. So these are all previous year questions in a modified version, just to give you a clear idea of how to approach each and every single problem. I will give you a lot of tips and techniques while solving the problem as well, and even in my regular sessions. So without any further ado, let's start. Okay, so here's the first problem, a very, very common problem. Let the sum of the coefficients of f of x is what I need to find, given that this is the function. If you can notice over here, this is the function. I need to find the sum of the coefficients of f of x. I don't know how many of you know the concept, but in any situation, I will give you 2 minutes to solve the problem. Go ahead. Whilst you guys are solving the problems, I would like to mention that there are about 100 questions that are going to come in your NTSE SAT paper as well, and you have 90 minutes to solve it. So whatever time you're saving from your other subjects, physics, language, chemistry, biology, I'm assuming you're going to use that in mathematics. So if you take 5 minutes to solve one problem, that does not make sense now, does it? You need to solve each problem in less than a minute, or a maximum of 1 minute. That is where I come in. I am going to give you my method of what I called a 5-minute problem to a 1-minute problem. The 5-minute to 1-minute. That's something I didn't invent or something. I just like to term it that way. How to convert a 5-minute problem into a 1-minute problem. I will tell you how to do that. It's all in the concept. Okay, that's about 2 minutes. Now let's see how it is done. So whenever I see a problem, the first thing that runs into my head, at least in my head, if I was to take the examination, is while reading the question, my brain quickly sees which concept it is related to. The sum of the coefficients of f of x. F of x. And they're asking the sum and the coefficients. Okay, this is related to polynomials. That's awesome. So now my brain goes into this frenzy as to think of all the important formulas that I have read in polynomials or that I remember the concepts underlying in it. Now I see that I need to find the sum of the coefficients. So I need to relate f of x with coefficients. That's pretty simple. Now I know that f of x is nothing but a naught x to the power of n plus a1 x to the power of n minus 1 plus a2 x to the power of n minus 2 plus so on. Now let's see by let's substitute a value. What if I need to find the sum of a0, a1, a2 and so on? For that, what is the extra thing that I need to eliminate? The x's. What if I put the value of x equal to 0? Okay, this will become 0, 0, 0. Hey, that does not solve the problem, does it? Because I need the value of a1 and anything multiplied with 0 gives 0. X equal to 0 does not solve it for me. What about x equal to 1? F of x equal to 1. That solves 1 to the power of n, 1 to the power of n minus 1, which is nothing but 1. So that gives me a0 plus a1 plus a2 plus a3 plus so on. Bingo. This is what I want. I need to substitute the value of x equal to 1 right over here, and that will give me the value. From that I need to find what the value of f of 1 is. So I substitute x equal to 1, so I get 16. 1 to the power of 16 is 1 minus 11 plus 2, that's 18 minus that's 7. F of 1 is equal to 2016. From that I find that f of 1 is equal to 2016 divided by 16 minus 11 is 5 plus 2 is 7. So 2016 divided by 7, what's the answer? It's right, 288. Okay. So yeah, this is the way you can basically solve all your problems. Okay. Now, if you notice, some people might think, what I could do is I will expand this f of x value over here and then I can solve it and then I'll get somehow derive it. Yeah, that's a good method to do it. But if you notice, that would take you around 5 to 6 minutes. That's not good. That's really not good to take 5 to 6 minutes per problem when you have less than a minute to solve it. This is how, if you know the concept, you can convert a 5 to 6 minute problem into a 1 minuter, a 5 minuter to a 1 minuter. Always remember, the main part, the way you can crack your NTSE is if you know how to convert a 5 minuter to a 1 minuter. That should be the secret of success to NTSE. Cool? I hope everyone is clear with that. Along with this, I will give you a few more important formulas. This is what you need to note down. Suppose, in case if there was a modification to the problem saying that what is the sum of even coefficients of f of x of this thing, what you needed to do that time is you needed to do f of 1, you add it to f of minus 1 and then divide it by 2. The sum of the even coefficients of f of x will be equal to this. Someone might ask, sir, what is the odd coefficient sum? For odd, it will be f of 1 minus f of minus 1 divided by 2. There's nothing different. For even or odd, all you need to find is f of 1, f of minus 1 and then divided by 2. If it is even, you need to sum it up and divide it by 2. If it is odd, you need to subtract and divide it by 2. That's it. This is something you need to write down in your notebook, because this is a very important formula and it will save a lot of time. Then you might be like, sir, how did you derive this formula? It's very simple. I can show the derivation in the later classes, but for right now, you can just understand that sum of even coefficients plus sum of odd coefficients should give you the sum of each coefficient. So if you add odd plus even, you will see that the negatives will get cancelled. I will get 2 f of 1 divided by 2, which will get cancelled to give me f of 1. So basically, I have split it in that order to just make life simpler, nothing else. The proof can be given later. You can find it in various reference materials that I will share with you later on. Or we can also do this proof in the class later on. Cool? Let's move on to the next problem. This is another problem which I feel is a necessity, and I will tell you why. Here I'm going to discuss something called tip. I call it Kunal's tip, you can call it whatever tip you want. But before that, let's just give yourself about 1 to 2 minutes to solve the problem. Remember the ideology or the flow in which I solved the first problem. When you look at a problem, first thing that should run in your head is concept. Once I remember the concept, which concept it is related to, my brain should feed me all the details or the formulas or the theoretical parts or theoretical bits of that concept, and then I should see how I can fit those concepts and the formulas into this problem. This is a very interesting problem, and this problem will give the basic idea of how to convert a 5-minuter to a 1-minuter if you are good with your concepts. Sorry about the movement of the screen. I'll give you another 10 seconds in case if you're not done yet. Okay, let's see how this problem goes. What was my rule number 1? Look at the problem. While reading the question, think of the concept it is associated with. Okay, if sine x plus cosecant x, as soon as I see sine x, I remember this is trigonometry. What's the first thing that runs into my head? All the formulas of trigonometry. Sine square x plus cos square x equal to 1, and sine x is equal to 1 by cosecant x, and all those things that run into my head. Okay, now let's look at the problem. Sine x plus cosecant x is equal to 2. I need to find the value of sine to the power of 10x plus cosecant to the power of 10x. Now, what majority of you guys must have done is, okay, I can write sine x plus 1 by sine x is equal to 2. Then I can get a quadratic equation from that. Plus 1 is equal to 2 sine x. Sorry, minute, my apologies. Then I just bring it to the other side. I solve the quadratic equation, and finally I get sine x is equal to 1, from which I can also set cosecant x is equal to 1, and hence sine x is equal to 1, cosecant x is equal to 1. Substitute it here. 1 to the power of 10 plus 1 to the power of 10 is nothing but 1 plus 1, which is the answer is 2. Perfect. If you solve it in this method, it takes you approximately 5 minutes. Okay, in this case it is a simple problem. If it is 2, what if it was 3, or what if it was 1075 or something like that? Here is how you convert this 5-minuter to a 1-minuter. I'm assuming everyone know what progressions are, and if you remember, in progression AM is always greater than equal to GM. Click something. If you notice, sine x and 1 by sine x are nothing but the reciprocals of each other. Correct. So now what am I doing? I'm basically trying to find the arithmetic mean of this value. If you notice, sine x plus 1 by sine x, arithmetic mean, and then if I divided it by 2, I will get the value is equal to 1. Sine x plus cosecant x equal to 2 is nothing but sine x plus cosecant x divided by 2 equal to 1, which is nothing but to find the arithmetic mean. Now, if that arithmetic mean has to be greater than equal to geometric mean, obviously. Now, what is the arithmetic mean of this? If from here, what do I see? I see it is sine x plus 1 by sine x divided by 2 is equal to 1. So this is the AM. What is the GM? GM of sine x and cosecant x will be nothing but this. That is also 1. Now, AM has to be greater than or equal to GM. Now, I can see that AM is equal to 1 and GM is equal to 1. The only way possible is that AM should be equal to my GM, obviously, as you can see over here. How is that possible when my AM has to be equal to my GM? That is only possible if sine x in this case is equal to 1 and 1 by sine x is also equal to 1. In no other case that it is possible. This is the only way it is possible. So you see, what took you 5 minutes to get the value of sine x equal to 1. If I use the concept of AM greater than GM, I get that value of sine x equal to 1 in less than a minute. Then I substitute the value of sine x and cosecant as 1 and 1 and get the value of 2. This problem I took just to show you how to convert a 5-minute problem to a 1-minute problem. A proof of concept of why I ask you to understand the concepts rather than solving n number of problems. Okay. Now let me give you my first tip. This tip is called the method of elimination. Please remember, method of elimination, and it applies when you have MCQs. For example, let's say that a person, John, does not know how to solve this problem. What would his approach be? He says that as there is no negative marking, what I will do is at the end, I will just randomly guess something. Okay, this is B, this is C, that is A, that is D. That's a good thing, but your probability of getting it right is 1/4, because one of the 4 choices is correct and you marking that choice is 1 on 4. Now, what if I say that I reduce the number of choices? That is the method of elimination. Educated guess, making an educated guess. Let's see how you can make an educated guess here. I do not know how to solve the problem. What do I notice over here? I see that sine x to the power of 10. This is an even power. So any value, I know that sine x can take values between -1 and 1. So anything even power of it, sine x will always lie between 0 and 1. It can be 0 definitely, but it cannot be 1. Correct? It can be 0, but it cannot be negative. Sorry, not 1, negative. Same way, cosecant to the power of 10x. I can have a positive value or I can have 0, but I can definitely not have a negative number. So a sum of a positive number and the sum of a positive number, sum, can never be equal to 0 or a negative number, because a positive plus a positive will obviously give me positive. What does that tell me? Option D is ruled out just by seeing this question. Did you notice? Now, instead of 4 options to be worried about, I just have to worry about 3 options. Same way, if I can think of other ideas, I see that sin x plus cosecant as x is equal to 2, then the to the powers can obviously not be less than that. It either has to be equal to or greater the value than that. So that also rules out the case that there is a possibility of it having b equal to 1. Now, suppose if I was John, I either had to guess between a equal to 3 and c equal to 2. Now, if you could have guessed the answer correctly, what I'm trying to say from this is that now instead of guessing one of the options from 4, I just have to mark between A or C. That increases my chance of marking the correct answer. I can either mark this or mark this. So instead of having 4 choices, I reduced it to 2 choices. This is your tip number 1. Never make random guesses. Make educated guesses. How do I make educated guesses? In the question, there will always be a clue. Use that clue to obtain what I call method of elimination. Eliminate few of the choices using that clue from the question and then make your educated guess. Okay, this is applicable only in MCQs. I am giving you this tip because now you're writing your NTSE. You guys are going to write a lot of examinations in the future. 11th, 12th, your entrance exam, your this, your that. This can be applied everywhere. Also, try to use this when there is no negative marking. If there is a negative marking, there is a possibility of you to get the question wrong and you lose some marks as well. Do not use it too often. Use it when you have nothing to lose, like when there is no negative marking and you do not have any idea how to solve the problem. Good to go? This is tip number 1. I'm assuming you're making note of these tips and remembering it in your notebook. Cool? Let's move on to the next problem. Try this problem. Try to use the tip that I gave you in case if you remember it, and or you know how to apply it to this problem, and concept, the way, the flow that I used, and how to convert a 5-minute to a 1-minute. Go. I chose this example also on purpose because this example is also a perfect way of how you can convert a 5-minute to a 1-minute. I'll show you when I'm giving the solutions. Please forgive my bad handwriting. I hope you are able to understand the question, read it, and also comprehend the options. I'll try to make sure that my handwriting is a little more legible from the next time. For right now, please forgive me. Okay, another 30 seconds and then I'll show you the solution to this as well. Okay, let's solve the problem. Let's go in the flow that I saw. Whenever I read a problem, sum of divisors of something. Okay, I know that this is related to real numbers, divisibility and all. So the concept over here that I'm talking about is real numbers. Think of all the formulas. When they're asking to find the divisors, okay, the best way to find the divisors of any number, you're right, prime method, prime factorization. So I divide 2700 and the prime factors, pretty obvious. I'm assuming everyone has gotten that by now. Into 5 square, 400 and 2700. Okay, cool. So that's just a check that I do to make sure that I have not gotten it wrong. Now, what majority of you could have done or might have done is, now what you do is you start finding all the factors and then seeing if it is divisible by 15. Now there aren't many factors to over here, so you might be like, okay, I can find all the factors and see if it is divisible or not. Good enough. That's absolutely right. But the problem with that is it's going to take you 5 minutes to find all the divisors. For example, I start, okay, so I take 2 to the power of 0, then I use 3 cube, then I use 5 square, then I use 2 to the power of 0, 3 square, 5 square, and all the divisors. Then again and again and again. It's going to take you some time. It's time consuming. But if you knew the method of how this is actually done, you'll find it's very simple. Whenever they ask you the sum of the divisors, you use the prime factorization method, and this is how you find the sum of all divisors. You write 3 brackets because there are 3 prime factors over here, and then start from their powers to the 0 to the maximum powers given. For example, in this case, I have 2 to the power of 0 plus 2 to the power of 1 plus 2 to the power of 2. For 3, what will I have? 3 to the power of 0 plus 3 to the power of 1 plus 3 to the power of 2 plus 3 to the power of 3. Then what should I have for 5? You're right. 5 to the power of 0, 5 to the power of 1, 5 to the power of 2. Now, if you just add up the brackets and multiply, you will get the sum of all the divisors. But what do I need? I need the sum which have to be divisible by 15. Now, what are the numbers in which you can have 15? I need a minimum of 5 in all the divisors and a minimum of 3 in all the divisors. Without this, I cannot get a number 15. Now, if you notice over here, there are chances where I might not have a 5 or a 3. I need to eliminate all such chances. For a number to be divisible by 15, I need at least 1 5, and at least same way 3 to the power 0 cannot be included, because for 15 I need a minimum of 3. I can have 3 to the power of 2 or 3 to the power of 3. That is okay, because 3 cube into 5 is divisible by 15. 3 square into 5 square is divisible by 15. But 3 to the power of 0 into 5 square is not divisible by 15 because there is no 3 component in it. Now multiplied by 5 plus 25. So that is nothing but 7. This is nothing but 27, 36, 39, and then this is nothing but 30. So on multiplying, I get the answer to be 8190. You see how I converted a 5-minute problem of converting and looking at each divisors which are divisible by 15 and then adding them to something which is this simple of finding all the sum and removing what a given condition and then finding the final answer. This is another best example of how to convert a 5-minute problem to a 1-minute problem. Now, in case some of you might have not understood it, I'll give you a homework problem. Same problem, but instead of the sum of the divisors which are divisible by 15, I need to find the sum of the numbers which is divisible by 12. Okay. First, this also, what would be the first thing? Same thing, everything is same. You get the same thing. But here, as a hint, just remember the things that you need to eliminate so that you have all numbers which are divisible by 12. Find out the numbers that can be eliminated, that are needed to be eliminated, because if those are not eliminated, then I might get divisors which are not divisible by 12. I need 12. So think of all the things that is required in 12 and register for it as well. Okay, let's move on to the next problem. Oh, this is a beautiful problem. I have taught a lot of students, and trust me, majority of them have said, sir, we do not know how to find the last digits of all the numerators. It's a very simple process, trust me. And I'm going to teach you exactly how it is done. But for right now, just try to solve this problem. 2 minutes. A word of caution, don't go about trying to find out what the total power is. You are not going to like it. Perfect. Good problem, really good problem. Once you know the method, you really like the problem. Trust me. Okay, let's start, I guess. Want another minute, you guys? Cool. Come on, guys, quicken up. Okay, let's see how this problem is done. Okay, one method which I'm assuming many of you guys could have done is you find out 2 to the power of 3, that is 8, and then you say 5, 4 minus 8, 4, 5. Oh, by the way, this also can, both of them are not same, so the difference of them cannot be equal to 0. Cool? You just eliminate one choice, one less problem to look at. Now, let's look at how you could, and then you see key 8 to the power of 5, and then to the power of 4, and then pretty complicated process. Let's see how else it can be done. 2 to the power of 3 to the power of 5. Let's see. What does 2 to the power of 1 gives me? 2. 2 to the power of 2, 4. 2 to the power of 3, 8. 2 to the power of 4 gives 16. So what is the last digit? 6. This is the last digit, okay? What does 2 to the power of 5 give me? It gives me 32. The last digit is 2. So you see it repeats. 2 to the power of 6 will give me 64. So 4, 2 to the power of 6, 2 to the power of 7, 2 to the power of 8, 2 to the power of 9. So if you notice, this is repeating at 4k plus 1. So 2 to the power of 4k plus 1 will give me this. 2 to the power of 4k plus 2 gives me this. 2 to the power of 4k plus 3 gives me this, and 2 to the power of 4k plus 4 gives me this. What is k? K can be any number. Put k equal to 0, I get 2 to the power of 1, which is equal to 2. Put k equal to 1, I get 2 to the power of 4 plus 1, which is 2 to the power of 5, which is nothing but this. Put k equal to 2, 2 to the power of 9. Same way, 2 to the power of, put k equal to 2, it will be 4 into 2, 8 plus 3, 2 to the power of 11, which is over here. Okay. So you see that it is repeating in the process of 2 to the power of 4k plus 1. Now let us look at the powers over here. 3 to the power of 5 to the power of 4. This is the power of this. So if you look over here, what is 3? We need everything in terms of 4. So what is 3? 3 is 1 less than 4. So I write it as minus 1. Minus 1 to the power of 4 to the power of 5 to the power of 4. If you notice, this is nothing but an odd power. Why can I say that it is an odd power? 5 to the power of 1 is 5, 5 to the power of 2 is 25, 5 to the power of 3 is 125, and so on. So this is basically an odd power. So minus 1 to the power of odd power will give me what? Will give me minus 1. Anything to the power of odd number will give me a negative value. So this entire thing is nothing but equal to minus 1. Correct? So minus 1 is what you're getting from this. But we need in terms of a positive value. So you have 4k plus 4 with this value minus 1. So you have 4k plus 3. So 3 to the power of 5 to the power of 4, this value is nothing but equal to of the form 4k plus 3. Cool? Because you're getting that as a minus 1. If you're getting that as a minus 1, you need to subtract that from 4. 4 minus 1 should give you 3. Again, now let's look at the other one. 3 to the power of 4 to the power of 5. Again, if you notice, 3 is nothing but equal to minus 1 to the power of 4 to the power of 5. Now if you notice, this is 4 to the power of 5, which is nothing but an even number. So minus 1 to the power of an even number will give me 1. As this is not a negative number or a 0, I can simply plug it and say that this is nothing but equal to 4k plus value. Let me just erase this part. This value's last digit is 8, and this is 2 to the power of 4k plus 1, which is nothing but equal to 2, is equal to 2. The last digits are 8 and 2. Subtract them, 8 minus 2 will give the result of 6. So this is another problem that is going to take you a huge amount of time to solve it if you take 8 to the power of 5 to the power of 4 or 8 to the power of 4 to the power of 5, find the values, take the last digit and subtract. But if you know the method, which is a very useful method, it is going to take you 2 minutes. You might say, sir, it takes 2 minutes. How can I do it in 1 minute? I agree that there are some problems that is going to take you more than 1 minute. And that is where the time that you save in your other subjects, physics or biology or language, comes into the picture. Some problems in mathematics that I will show you takes less than a minute. All the time that you save there have to be utilized in such kind of problems. Cool? But that does not mean a 2-minute problem. Cool? But that does not mean a 2-minute problem should take you 10-minute problem. That is not what the idea is. Okay, let's move on to the next one. You want another problem? Okay, I'll give you another homework problem that we can discuss. Let's say the next problem that I'm going to give you is, let's take a challenging one. 5 to the power of 6 to the power of 7 to the power of 8 minus 5 to the power of 7 to the power of 6 to the power of no, wait, let's not do that. Let's keep it even. 6 to the power of 8 to the power of 7. Okay, I need to find the last digit of this value. Okay, again, first thing we'll do is solve this problem. Try this out, see if you have understood the method. If you're able to solve that problem, please, before you start solving the problem, please read the question. Go. 2 minutes. Quite a simple problem, but it's a ridiculous problem. Did I give you guys too much of a hint by saying that? Okay, let's start solving the problem. Or do you want like another 10 seconds? Okay, let's give you guys another 10 seconds to solve it. Okay, let's see how it is done. What's my first concept? What's my first rule, thumb rule? Whenever I see a problem, while reading the question, I say this is sin x or this is trigonometry. Then I see cos square x is equal to 2, so I apply sin square x plus cos square x is equal to 1. You get cos square x is equal to 2, so sin square x is equal to minus 1. I put the value of minus 1. This is also minus 1. This is minus of 1 by root. Yay, sir, I finished it in 2 minutes or in 1 minute. But for once, even for once, I don't know how many have noticed it or how many have gone through it, or I gave the hint in the beginning. Please read the question carefully. This question did not appear in any NTSE exam. This question does not exist. I don't know how many have actually gone through the question and then just started solving it, just looking at the values. But if I read the question carefully, let's read the question carefully. Find the value of sin square x plus cosecant square x minus cot x into secant x when the value of cos square x is 2. What my brain is doing is taking a hammer and smashing me out of the park. How on earth is cos square x equal to 2? What is cos x? Cos x always lies between minus 1 and 1. So the value of cos square x should always lie between 0 and 1. How on earth can I have a value of cos square x is equal to 2? If that was not sufficient, while we are applying it in the formula sin square x plus cos square x equal to 1, how on earth am I getting a square value? Sin square x equal to minus 1. The secret option E does not exist. Okay, some of you might be thinking, why on earth is sir giving me this problem? This problem is given to you with the sole purpose for you to sometimes read the question. I am not saying that NTSE is going to test you with such kind of questions. All I'm trying to say is sometimes you do not even need to solve certain questions. You just need to read the question once, look at the problems properly and directly mark the question. In your examination, obviously this choice would also be given to you. For right now, I wanted to hide it just to make my point clear that reading the question is as important as knowing all the concepts and solving it. If I had given you this option and if you would have noticed that cos square x is equal to 2, I would have just marked this and moved on to the next problem. It would have taken me 2 to 3 seconds. The only time that it would have taken me is to read the question and register in my head that this value is not possible. So a problem that would have taken you 2 minutes, now you can solve that problem in 1 minute because this problem saves you 1 minute of time. Your precious time ka 1 minute gets saved in this step that sometimes reading the question will give you a direct answer. NTSE might do that, but this problem NTSE might not give you. But I wanted to drive your focus into that. Okay, that solving the problems or knowing all the concepts does not imply that you just read the question without reading the question properly, just go ahead and solve the problem. No. Okay. Problem has given your mind a refresher and a waking up call that sometimes it's important to read the question rather than just monotonously solve problems. Cool. Now that I have everyone's attention in much focus, let me just, before we move on, let me just give you an idea that a lot of tips and tricks are what I'm going to give you. All such kinds of problems, all such kinds of tips that I gave you, the method of elimination, the one of reading the question properly, the 5-minute to 1-minute. All of this will be discussed and delved much deeper in our regular classes. Okay, the regular classes I think start from the 27th or the 29th of August. We haven't decided that yet, but the registrations have already started. The link for you to register is given over here. Okay, if you go there, you can go check it out. This is what will come. In that you can see your NTSE SAT biology, your NTSE SAT physics. This is what I'm going to teach. I'm going to be your NTSE SAT mathematics teacher. Okay, it starts on the August 27th. It's going to be a duration of 15 hours on 10 sessions, I guess. We are not sure on the thing. Okay, if you go further, you can see your view full course over here. In this view full course, you can see what it is about, what the teacher timings are going to be, how many sessions are there, how many seats are there, what the curriculum is, and many other details can also be viewed from the view detail button. Okay. This session, if you notice over here, cost you around 12K, but I spoke to the Vedantu team, and then we felt that 12K is not a fair price for students who are going to be preparing for NTSE right now, and after that the GST is being added and everything. So what we decided is, at least on my recommendation, the Vedantu team has decided that there is going to be a lightning offer that is valid until tonight, and the price of that entire bundle is just going to be 8K. Not 12,000 rupees, only 8,000 rupees. In 8,000 rupees, you are going to get every single course, NTSE, SAT, biology, physics, maths, chemistry, social science, everything included. Because I felt 12,000 rupees is way too much, and it should not be. Because of GST or tax or whatever, that burden should not fall on students. So we have made sure that this lightning offer is valid until tonight. Guys, I'm requesting you to please use this offer in case, because trust me, I'm pretty sure all the tips and tricks that not just I give, all the other teachers of other subjects going to give you, it's going to help you a lot while cracking your NTSE 2019 problems. So use this lightning offer, register right now. The link is given over here. Okay, get yourself registered so that there is a guarantee, you guarantee your chances of becoming an NTSE 2019 scholar with the maximum possible chances. Okay, please keep this in mind. Okay. I do not want to end this as a sales pitch notice, so we'll continue and I'll just solve another are going to be. So I call them as challenges, not as problems. I call them as challenges because these are brain teasers, something that we solve as an IQ tester or IQ increasing, speed maths kind of stuff. So this is one of the NTSE problems that were given earlier. I love this problem because it makes me think Venn diagram and set theory connected to my real life situations. So why don't you guys go ahead and try to solve this problem? I'll give you about a minute or two. Should be an easy problem. I'm assuming many of you might have gotten this problem by right now. Okay, let's see how this problem is done. What is the thing? Which of the following diagram sets indicates the relation between a woman, mother, and parent? Looking at the options, what is the first thing that comes into my head? Okay, this is a set theory / Venn diagram problem. Good, my concept is clear in my head. Now let's look at it. Let's see how we can link this problem with real life situation. For right now, let's think. Are all women mothers? Are all women mothers? Let me just write down what I'm saying. Are all women, does all women mean all women are mothers? Not necessarily. Like, you have a lot of friends right now. The students who are women right now, or the girl students who are attending this session. What do you think? You guys are not mothers, right? So all women are not mothers, but all mothers are women. Don't you think so? In a society that we are living in the 21st century, I know there's a lot of things going on, but for the sake of mathematics, let's just say that all mothers are women. Like all your mothers, they're all women, right? My mom, your mom, everyone's, all are women. So I know that all women are not mothers, but all mothers are women. So if I have something like this called the woman qatar, all the mothers will fall within it. Correct? Because there might be some women who are not mothers. Good. Now, let's say, are all mothers parents? Yes, all mothers are parents, right? Because your mother is your parent, my mother is my parent. But are all parents mothers? No. Because what do you mean by parent? Parents mean mother and father. So, parents does not mean that I have all mothers. parent means I have fathers as well. So some parents, suppose if this was parent, then this set would be my mothers, because my mother would be a parent and a woman. So which of these options are correct? This option, because I have all women parents, where this part is fathers and mothers who are a parent as well and a woman as well. So this intersection point would be my mothers. So I know that this option is correct. Let's see why this option is not correct. This is woman, this is mother, this is parent. This says that some mothers are parents, which is true, but it also says that all parents are women. Your dad is not a woman. Your dad is your parent, but your dad is not a woman. So this option goes off. Same way, it says that some women are parents and some women are mothers, but this is not correct. What about the connection between the mothers being a woman, being a parent as well? There is no connection between these two. So this option is wrong as well. And this is pretty obviously wrong, because all women cannot be equal to all mothers, cannot be equal to all parent. So this option goes. So the only viable option is the first one. So this is why I like this kind of problem, because I have to think in my real life situation and connect it to the problems. I like such kind of problems. I hope you guys do too. Okay, so this is another challenge that I guess I'll leave it to you as a homework problem. Okay, it's a very beautiful problem. I love this kind of a problem. One small hint that I will give you to this problem, in case it's long candle as LL or L2, whatever you want, and then go ahead, solve this problem. This is the only hint that I'm going to give you. Again, like the first two problems that I had told you, this is the third problem that we are going to start off with in our regular sessions. That is, I think it's going to start from the 27th of August, as you have seen. So this is a homework problem. Please do try it out along with the other two problems that I have given you. So guys, a small reminder. Please register now. The link is given on slide number 9, as I have shown you. Okay, on slide number 9, the link has been posted. Please go register now. Avail the lightning deal or the offer that you are getting right now, because trust me, it is going to help you a lot. All the bundle session in 8K is really, really affordable. 12K is not something you need to pay for that. Okay, seats are running out. Please utilize this at the earliest. Along with this, if you do register, what I will give you is a lot of reference material. These reference materials are not theory. It will be tips, tricks, problems, way of solving problems, how to save time, how to convert a 5-minute to a 1-minuter. Like all these kinds of reference materials will be shared with you in our regular sessions. Along with this, I will also post various websites where you can solve hundreds and thousands of problems. Does not mean I'm asking you to solve each of them. I'm going to look at the websites. I'm going to tell you solve the problems from this number to this number. And there is also a tracker which will tell you how many problems you have done right, which problems you have done wrong, and what the solutions are. Along with this, in the regular sessions, as it's going to be a 10 session spread out, so it will be spread over a 4 week, that's basically a month. we will be giving you a feedback after every 2 weeks. That is, if I start my session on 27th August, 2 weeks from then, we will invite your parents. We will give them a feedback as to how you are doing. We will tell you the areas where you are very strong and you should hold on to that, and areas which you are weak in and how you are going to improve on that so that it becomes a strength as well. All these things will be bundled together, not just in mathematics, but also in other subjects as well. And that is all inclusive in our regular sessions that we are going to conduct. So please register now. I guess for today's webinar, that's all, folks. Feel free to contact me. I am going to post my, oh yeah, by the way, I forgot to mention, in our session, in our regular session, a specific in the course. We will not include all our students and we will not have posts like good morning, good nights and everything. No. This WhatsApp group that will be created will be very specific to you. You can ask your questions anytime, because if you notice the timing right now might be 7 to 8:30 or 7:30 to 9. But suppose you're solving problem in the mornings or late at nights. Whom do you contact if you have a doubt? That's where you post your questions. And the reason I'm creating this WhatsApp group is because through this WhatsApp group, you can not only ask doubts to me, your peers will be able to answer the question as well. Suppose if one of their friends asks you a question there and you know the answer, by solving the answer, you can realize that you're helping him and yourself, because you're making sure that you have understood the concept and your course that we are going to include. Okay. So I'm going to post in my email ID over here. It is kunaldas.0107@gmail.com. I'm not posting in my number.